Welcome back to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into what is honestly one of the most heavily relied upon tools in the modern developer's toolkit. We're talking about Selenium. Look, if you've ever just completely lost your mind doing manual, super repetitive QA testing, or if you've kind of wondered how these massive tech platforms manage to deploy code so incredibly fast without breaking everything, well, you are in the exact right place. I'm going to give you a clear, totally no-nonsense primer on web automation, and we'll get you right up to speed. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, introducing web automation. Second, we'll look at the evolution of Selenium. Third, we'll break down the core features and ecosystem. And finally, number 4, some real-world use cases. Let's get right to it. Section 1, introducing web automation. So, at its very core, Selenium is this open-source framework used for automating web applications. And it does this by interacting directly with a website's HTML elements. Basically, I want you to picture an invisible robotic hand. This hand can literally click buttons, fill out forms, and navigate through pages exactly like a human user would. But here's the kicker. Because it's communicating directly with the HTML under the hood, it does all of this at lightning speed. It completely bypasses all those physical limitations of using an actual mouse and keyboard. Section 2. The evolution of Selenium. Now, this framework definitely wasn't just built overnight. It actually traces its roots all the way back to 2004 with a tool called JavaScript Runner. Seriously, that makes it almost as old as Facebook. And from there, the idea really caught fire. It rapidly evolved into Selenium 1 by 2006. Then a huge breakthrough happened in 2009 with WebDriver, which eventually merged in to create Selenium 2 in 2011. Fast forward through a major architectural update with Selenium 3 in 2016, and that leads us right to the absolute powerhouse that is Selenium 4, released in 2019. In the fast-paced tech world, having a 20-year legacy is incredibly rare. And honestly, that's exactly why developers trust it so much. Moving on to Section 3, core features and ecosystem. Okay, so the absolute biggest question beginners have when they see this is usually, wait, do I need to learn a completely new programming language just to use this thing? And the answer is a resounding no. The sheer flexibility of Selenium is basically built on 3 pillars. You've got cross-platform compatibility, massive language support, and universal browser compatibility. So whether you're already coding in Java, Python, C#, Ruby, or JavaScript, Selenium is going to speak your language natively. You are good to go. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we mean by cross-platform compatibility. We're talking seamless operation across Apple, Windows, and Android environments. It is like a magic trick. A single automation script just works everywhere. This totally prevents you from being locked into one single hardware ecosystem, which, let me tell you, is an absolute lifesaver for modern development teams who have to test their sites across countless different devices every single day. Now, within this ecosystem, it's actually really crucial to recognize the distinct branding and purpose of the different modules. Notice that distinct blue icon there for Selenium IDE, and compare that to the sort of purple, node-based icon for Selenium Grid. Getting familiar with these visual cues is key, because these tools serve entirely different purposes within the broader Selenium suite. So let's break that suite down. It really relies on 3 distinct tools. First, Selenium Grid allows you to run tests on different machines and browsers simultaneously. That's for your massive, large-scale testing. Then you have Selenium IDE. That's your lightweight record and playback tool. It's absolutely perfect for quick bug reproduction without having to write heavy code. And finally, Selenium WebDriver. This is the core library that actually lets developers engineer those really robust, complex automation scripts we were talking about earlier. Right, but before you can start automating the world, you do need your environment set up. If you're a Python user, you'll be utilizing something called pip. That stands for Package Installer for Python. Basically, you simply command pip to go fetch the Selenium module, and it immediately handles all the heavy lifting of the installation and configuration for you. No sweating the small stuff. Okay, so once your modules are installed, you're going to need a place to actually write the code, right? An integrated development environment, or an IDE. Like Visual Studio Code is pretty much the industry standard here. It seamlessly bridges that gap between the whole theory of web automation and the actual execution, giving you a really powerful clean canvas to start scripting your bots. Which brings us to Section 4, real-world use cases. Because guys, here is where the magic actually happens. Automation, web scraping, and testing. Seriously, if you find yourself stuck doing these totally manual, soul-crushing, repetitive web tasks day in and day out, Selenium is literally going to act as your ultimate savior. Let's really look at the true value of how these applications work in the wild. Just imagine having a dedicated, hyper-fast digital robot sitting right there at your keyboard. Do you need to download 500 invoices from a vendor portal every single Friday? Well, Selenium just executes it in the background while you go grab a coffee. Or maybe you need to pull competitor pricing data every single hour. Your digital robot handles it flawlessly. It never gets tired, it doesn't take breaks, and it definitely never makes a typo. And then, of course, there's ensuring software quality. Honestly, this is the absolute cornerstone of why Selenium was built in the first place. For any QA engineers watching this explainer right now, this is massive. Instead of manually clicking through a website update just to make sure the shopping cart still works, Selenium can literally run thousands of automated checks across dozens of different browsers in a matter of minutes. It basically guarantees that zero bugs slip through to the end user, and it does it at a scale that we humans simply can't match.
So what does this all mean for us? The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that Selenium isn't just some neat library, it is a massive multiplier for your daily productivity. Which really leaves me with a final thought for you to ponder today. How much time could you reclaim by automating your own repetitive tasks? I mean, think about it. The tools are completely free, they're open source, and they're just waiting for you. It is time to start writing your own scripts. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.